What's the best piece of advice you were ever given by your father?
The best piece of advice I think I was ever given by my father is, remember, we're here to help those who can't help themselves. I think that's the best piece of advice my father ever gave me.
The best piece of advice my dad has probably given me. Always put my best foot forward, no matter what. Don't give up. You just got to keep pushing, even when things are really hard. You just got to push through. And as long as you put in your best, if you put in your best, that's all you can put in. That's enough.
Knowing that there's a 24/7, 365-day gig, you're always on call. There's no bonus pay. There's no regular pay. But for me, the reward is just seeing my child grow and blossom. Father's in 3 words: determined, single-minded, and relentless.
He's funny. He's very hardworking. He's selfless.
Awesome. Okay.
I think the hardest part about being a dad is that for the first third of your child's life, you're everything to them. You're the protector, you're everything. And when that time is up, then you're left trying to figure out what's your new role with them, because once in my case, my daughter gets married, and I'm no longer the number one guy in her life. So then I'm left to figure out what is my new role. Because I think as far as dads are concerned, I think this is all dads, we're never comfortable with being our children's friends because we're always dad. So that's what we know, and that's what we come to expect from ourselves. I think the greatest part about being a dad is when you see your child blossom, when you see the person your child was and who your child is supposed to be when they meet each other.
Right.
And that's when your child starts to blossom. And for me personally, I think the greatest part of being a dad is when you hear you come out of your child's mouth. Then you know you've done your job. I think the mother-daughter role is so complicated that it actually allows them to have room to grow with each other. Because as a dad, I can't teach my daughter how to be a woman. So that role is left up to mom. So then as dad, you're left with whatever mom doesn't have. So to me, I've always felt like my primary role as the dad is to be the ATM machine and the disciplinarian.
So your mother, she's always your parent first. She's always going to be your parent first. But there is a deeper bond, whereas your mother at some point, as you get older, she becomes more of your friend. Then she's not so much your mother anymore. You're both adults. And you guys find a way to interact in a different way rather than her. She's still always going to be my parent, no matter what. But it's on a different level. It's a level that we're not necessarily equals, because we'll never be equals as far as us being, aside from us being women.
Right.
You know, but it's definitely different. Whereas my dad was my first love. He'll always be my first love. No matter what. He's always picked me up when I fall. When it comes to guys, he always understands a little more than my mother would understand. Just because he has that background. He can.
Right.
No man can ever come between my father and I. Blood or not, it'll never matter. That was my first love. He'll always be my first love. It's different. Dad has more so been, he's been a friend longer than what my mom has been a friend. but still, regardless, been a parent first. But it's easier to bond on a different level than it is with my mom. My dad's a little more laid back. I can talk to him about certain things that I can't necessarily talk to my mom about, and vice versa. It's just different. He's someone that has always been a friend and will come and understand as a friend sometimes before the parent. Whereas my mother, she comes to me as a parent first and then friend. So it is a little different. There's things that my dad can do for me that my mother never can. There's things that my mother can do for me that my dad never can.
What's the biggest lie that you've told your daughter that obviously the jig is up? She knows now.
Santa got shot in the driveway.
The biggest lie my dad. I got one.
There
I
it
didn't
is.
drink your soda.
Oh, perfect.
I'd like her to know that I'm proud of her. I'm proud of the person that she is. I'm looking forward to watching her grow into the woman that she's supposed to be. And every day I just want the best for her.
Can you tell me how you think your life would be different if your dad wasn't around?
He's definitely instilled morals within me. He's definitely made me strong. Whereas my mother would probably baby me in certain situations. Whereas my father wouldn't. He makes me have that tough skin. He makes me face decisions and life in a way that my mother would probably try to coddle me. So I think I'd be a little weaker if my dad wasn't around. I'd be a little, I wouldn't be as outspoken, I don't think. I wouldn't have a sense of, I'm the shit. If he wasn't around, he definitely has helped mold me into who I am. Of course, with my mother's help. Nothing against my mother.
Sure.
But he definitely helped push in ways that my mom couldn't help, and in ways that my mom, I'm sure, would have handled it differently, especially because I am a girl. My dad didn't treat me any different than how I'm sure he would have treated a young boy. He did push me, whether it be in sports, life, crying about people being mean.
Right.
He pushed a lot harder than I'm sure my mom would have.
Okay.
He's definitely made me strong, and I don't think without him, either of us would be as strong as we are. I love you, man. I love you so much. And there isn't a day that I'm not thankful that you came into my mother and I's life. You've been such an amazing puzzle piece. You just fit right in with us. You helped with so much, and you're so selfless. You always put us before anyone else, and that's something that I appreciate so much, because that's something my own father couldn't give me. And I just appreciate you more than words can ever express. I love you so much. Sometimes blood isn't as thick as water. You definitely, you're amazing. And thank you so much for treating my mother and I the way that you do, always do. I appreciate the way you put us first, even when we may not be deserving of it. You still work your ass off for us. It's very appreciated.
My favorite memory of Diamond is the first time I met Diamond. First time I met Diamond, Mom invited me over for dinner. Diamond was sick. And me, when I was sick, ice cream was always on the menu.
Right.
So I brought Diamond over some ice cream. And when I walked into her room, she was watching Grease, which is actually one of my favorite movies. Sat there, ate ice cream, watched Grease, and sang every song that came. That's my favorite memory of Diamond.
That is awesome.
Another one of my favorite moments of Diamond was when Joanne and I first started dating one another. I used to have to take Diamond to school. So Joanne would lay out her clothes for her every day.
Mm-hmm.
And there was moments that Diamond didn't want to wear that.
Mm-hmm.
So I would allow Diamond to wherever she wanted to wear. So if anybody ever seen the movie Big Daddy,
Mm-hmm.
they know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Diamond would go to school
Mm-hmm.
in boots, a dress, rainbow leggings, a winter shirt,
Mm-hmm.
and I did try to do her hair. It always got perfect, but the effort was there.
Right.
That's another one of my favorite moments with Diamond.
To follow up with that,
Mm-hmm.
I think my parents had been together 2 years at this time because Chris got with my mom when I was about 3.
Okay.
So I just started kindergarten and Chris would walk me to work. I was working as a 5-year-old.
Right. 'Cause they put y'all to work. Yeah.
Where he would walk me to school and he would put me on his shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how he would walk me to school. And I don't think I could ever forget that. It feels so bad.
That's awesome. Okay. What's the most embarrassing thing your father ever did?
So, I think I was about 14 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we went out somewhere, like through the drive-thru.
Mm-hmm.
And I had thought the guy in the drive-thru window was cute. So, I'm just talking to my dad like, oh, he's cute, He comes back to the window, so my dad's like, hey, you got a Facebook? What's your number? Here, add my daughter. Like, thanks, Dad. Way to go. That's probably the most embarrassing.
Right. What about you, Chris?
I think the most embarrassing moment with Diamond was, for the longest time, I was always the cool dad, always the one you want to hang around with. It was just me and Diamond. She was my ride or die.
Mm-hmm.
The most embarrassing moment was the day I dropped off at her friend's house, and she asked me to park further down because it just wasn't too cool to be seen with me. Mind you, I was her ride.
And this is Christopher Scott with his rant of the day.
Okay, for all you children out there, we know as dad, we know we're second fiddle to mom. We're okay with that. And in April, when they start promoting Mother's Day, you guys are on it. Father's Day is every June. It's coming. Could we not get the ugly tie, the ugly shirt, the stink cologne, the burnt breakfasts? We love the cards. We love the love. But if you're going to think about us with Father's Day, get us some golfing lessons. Pay for a round of golf. Cash works good too. Pay for all the dad loans we done gave you guys that we ain't never going to see again.
Right.
So this Father's Day, for anybody that's watching this video, if you want to show your dad how much you love him, give him $100.
Hey,
Happy
yes.
Father's Day.